everybody, it's Mark from the swiftbrosgear channel, and today we're going to take a look at this. This is a Fender Stratocaster with a Roland GK-3, and we are going to attempt to get the action down to something more playable. So let's take a look at what we need to do. Okay, so we're going to start by actually taking off this volume knob and then using some tape to give us a reference in terms of where this is, because what we're going to end up doing is actually routing out this cavity to lower this down, to allow us to lower the action. So first step, just to know where this goes, we are going to tape all this off, and then we'll actually have to unscrew and take the entire plate out. All right, that gives us a pretty good idea of where we need to cut out from the pick guard. So next step would be, well, let's just go ahead and take the pick guard off. Okay, and then finally we'll go ahead and unscrew the GK-3 here. Find something smaller that'll actually fit in there. Yeah, so this was originally installed with the whole system kind of just drilled through the top of the pick guard, which works if you can get the action down low enough, but we really were not able to do that. So you're sacrificing playability to have this in there. So we're going to actually cut through there, lower this down, and then actually use this screw to raise the pickups themselves back up, and hopefully we'll get a nice playable guitar at the end. All right, so now that we have all the screws out, we actually want to be able to use a Dremel to take out this area, which would then, here's your holes where that was screwed in before, and lower that down. To keep the body of the guitar safe, we're going to start by taking our output jack, right off there, and we might actually even need to take the grounds off here, just so we don't slip with the Dremel and cause any damage. All right, so I don't want to slip and accidentally destroy the finish of the guitar, so actually what we're going to do, this is just a used old crap blanket that is out of use anymore, and we're just going to do that. And then if we slip, the blanket gets the damage and the guitar body stays clean. So we're going to just use the lines we've got here and route out with the Dremel. So our Dremel is having a little bit of a tendency to jump. So I'm going to use this straight edge here to protect the rest of our pick guard. All right, so we're using the straight edge as a guide. This has a tendency to jump a little bit. So the Dremel actually operates better going in this direction, I think because of the direction the blade spins. So I'm going to widen this hole a little bit so we can stick the Dremel blade right through there. And we'll go back again that way. So rough placed back in, you see there's where our holes were, and then let's take a look and see how close we are. We are going to need a little bit off of both ends, and then some cleanup right there, but I think we'll be good. So I'm actually going to take a little bit of a different strategy to clean out the corners, and we're just going to use an X-Acto knife or utility blade. Cover up the finish again.
All right, so working with any kind of blade can be dangerous, and I do this on a regular basis, and I'm fairly comfortable with it, but would recommend that you probably take a different approach, go slower, use some sandpaper. 2 reasons. 1, don't want you to cut yourself, and then also, if you slip and scratch up the pick guard, it's impossible to get it back.
So to make sure that we account for, this is about 2 millimeters thickness for the pick guard here that we've taken out, so we actually can get this up within the 1 millimeter that it needs to be from string height. That's when fretted, highest fret. We're actually going to use just a polishing cloth. I'm just going to take a little slice out here, and we're going to put it underneath there as a spacer. Okay, so about 10 minutes of sanding later, and we are there. As you can see, it's sitting in place. It fits it's nice and tight, and there's the original holes it was in, so we know that we're putting it back where it was. So let's clean up some of this dust and reassemble this thing. So strings are on. It is roughly in tune. We take them a few minutes to stretch in here. And first thing that we're going to do here is take a look at how much relief we have in the neck. Let's go ahead and capo on the first fret, and then take a look here. And we're looking right around this spot, and that's just about right. It's off the tiniest amount, which is really what you want, so just a slight curve in the neck. So let's take a look at our action as it currently stands. We'll start at the 12th fret here, and we are at 1.5 and 1.25. Which actually fits kind of within what Fender normally recommends. But Mitch likes it much lower. So we're closer to 2 up here at the top, and actually we're still pretty good on the high end. We're at about 1.5, but what we want to do is try to maybe lower some of these saddles. So let's take a look at where we're sitting in terms of actual pickup here. Roland recommends this to be within about 1 millimeter or so of the strings. And that's based on it being fretted on the last fret here. So go ahead and get out our measurement once again, fret it up here, and we are at about 1.5 there. We are at about 2 on that side, and we are maybe 1.5-ish in the middle. So let's adjust these down as low as we can go without buzzing and see what we can do. All right, so we figured out and got the general action where we want it to be. So we're gonna try to make sure we can get our height where we want it to be in terms of that synth pickup. And then we'll also double check the intonation since we did make some minor changes there. Guitar's fully intonated, it's back together the way it should be. Pickup height actually is, we really only took this one back down and put approximately back where it was. Our GK-3 is in a good spot, I think, and we're ready to go. Action is low enough that it keeps the owner, Mr. Mitch here, is running the camera happy. That's all we're doing for today. Thanks for joining me, and until next time, play what you love what you play. See you later.